309 pages into Broken Fae. And the one...
Fuck's sake. There's a fucking vision. For fuck's sake. Oh, we're gonna find out who he is. I knew it. I knew it. I knew the vampire was her father. These books have been consuming my life. Oh, fuck's sake. Why does everything keep distracting me? I just want to read. It's like every other scene, he changes his mind on the whole situation. And I'm just like, I want to punch you in the face. I can't believe I just made that connection, but it's so funny and so small. Hello, welcome back to my channel, and it's time for part 2 of my Zodiac Academy reading vlog. I'm going to be picking up book 4 of the Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac, Broken Fae. I don't know if it's because it's 3 books in, but the fact that this plot spans 5 books doesn't seem substantial enough. And I'm kind of struggling with it. I'm having fun and the characters are really fun to follow along with and, you know, be in the mind of, and they're really funny. And like I said, it's a lot of fun. But the action and the plot is really slow. It's like walking through quicksand and you just know you're going to be swallowed up, but it's taking an awful long time. So, yeah, I'm excited to get to the end of this series, and I'm really excited to go back into the Zodiac Academy books. I think it's going to be, I don't know what it's going to be like going back to the Zodiac Academy books. I'm hoping that a lot more is going to happen, and that, you know, unlike Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac, the plot is going to be very substantial. It's going to continue throughout every book, and we're going to see a lot more of it. But I don't know how it's going to go. So I really hope you enjoyed part 1. I'm hoping part 2 is going to be a lot better, but we'll see. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. It's his fault that her brother died, and he didn't tell her.
309 pages into Broken Fae. And the one... Oh, Ryder is so funny. He's so awkward, but he's so funny. He literally runs up to her, kidnaps her, because he doesn't obviously want everyone to know what he's up to, takes her to his room. He just like blurts out, "You're my snakelet." Because of Leon. That is so funny. I love seeing them slowly come together, like just the boys, feeling those connections that they're meant to have. I mean, if that's not proof that they're all mates, I don't know what is, but I'm so happy that Ryder is finally giving it. We just got 330, we just got like a little snippet into Garrett's past, and apparently it's like, what, 2 months? 2 months before he died? And he just said he was going to fake his death. So I wonder if he actually did. Or if he tried to, but actually died before his plan to go into action. I feel like if he hadn't faked his death, then I feel like he would have stopped Elise from entering the school. So it's possible that he actually is dead. But I'm also wondering if the Fae, if the vampire beneath the well is her father. Because he's supposedly a very powerful vampire who betrayed the card master. And he's blonde. So I'm wondering if that's her dad. And she has no idea. 636 into Broken Fae. And I feel like this is going to be the moment that one of them becomes another mate to Elise, or possibly even 2. I feel like it could be Ryder or Gabriel. And I know that maybe I'm like just, they've said it's never happened. but there is one. They said there was like an art piece or mural that had been made for a queen and her, was it 6 mates or 4 mates, something like that. And I did think that comment was a little bit weird and felt like a little bit of foreshadowing. So even though they said that there's never been more than 1 mate, I feel like this could be the moment. But I feel like I'm literally on the edge of my seat because they're literally in the middle of a war. I just feel like I don't know what's gonna happen. For fuck's sake. There's a fucking vision! For fuck's sake! They really had me going there. I wonder if we get to see more of Ethan, because in this book he seems to play like a pretty prominent role. We hear about him way too often. I wonder if this is the moment where Ryder and Dante are no longer astral adversaries. Like if that bond is gonna break because of the decision he's going to make. Because he's gonna make it, it's obvious. Oh shit. The King's gonna use Elise for her blood because they made who I think was her father escape. And I knew it was gonna happen. As soon as they took away his vampire, I knew they were gonna use Elise. It just made sense. Oh, we're gonna find out who he is. I knew it! I knew the vampire was her father. I fucking knew it. I'm so happy. I mean, these books are so insanely predictable, but I'm so proud of myself. I could have sworn I recognised the eyes that peered deep into mine, like they could see every inch of my tattered soul, like they knew me too. I'm sorry, King breathed, and with a pinch of pain in my upper arm, darkness enveloped me and I was lost. Who is it? It can't be her brother, right? And it can't be her mum. Who else could it be that she knows? The potions teacher? Maybe? Because she did get very close to him. That's the one thing I have not been able to grasp. That's the one thing I haven't been able to predict is who the fuck is King. Because I had so many theories, but it just doesn't make sense for it to be her brother. But it was also really suspicious with the fact that they'd withheld, even like the chapters, they made 2 chapters of Gareth's final day, the day he died, which was weird because why would you need 2 days? But even those 2 chapters, why would you need 2 chapters to explain what happened in that one day? Kind of lengthen it a bit. But even then, they still didn't show who killed him and if he did fake his death otherwise. But it can't be that Gareth's the king, because if that was true, then who was the king before him? And why would he kidnap his sister? And also try to kill his sister? Because he did. Yeah, no, I don't think it's her brother. It can't be. Alright, well, I'm immediately diving into the final book because I have to know. I can't believe I'm already on the final book. I wonder if Lance or Ryan is going to help them in this final book. Confront and beat the king. The writing is so small. Like, what? You can tell that they wanted to make this book I can't even imagine how big this book is. It's currently, I really, really don't want to spoil it for myself, 670 pages. Oh my god. This is going to take me forever to read. Hey, so much has just happened. I'm on page 180. I knew that Dante and Ryder were no longer going to be astral adversaries, and I was right. They just answered to the stars. But now it looks like that they're going to be mates with Elise. And I was wondering, when the fourth book ended and she wasn't mated to another one of the boys, I was thinking, oh, maybe it's just not going to happen and I've just imagined it. But the only thing that really bugged me about that is that Gabriel saw a vision of him having silver eyes. And if he sees that and it's not her, then that means he finds his mate in someone else. I didn't like that. But it looks like I was right. But why wait for the last book to start mating the others to Elise? Like, why couldn't I have done fourth book Gabriel and then this book Dante and Ryder? Because I get why they're putting them together to mate Elise, because obviously, but why? This is why we didn't have this choice before, Dante said, drawing his eyes from me to Ryder. While fate held us pitted against one another, we couldn't have been this to her. And why is Gabriel not her mate yet? Why is his last? Also, her eyes are going to be completely silver. He says your eyes are almost entirely silver now, Bella. Only the smallest line of green left surrounding your pupils. So that means when she mates to Gabriel, she's going to be completely silver. I'm on page 386 and we've got Gabriel. And we've got Gabriel in his own amplification dome thing. And he says, all I knew was that it was immeasurably powerful, destructive, terrible, a bringer of complete and utter doom that could twist all our fates into it and never let go. And this is after he's having visions of the twins and their predicted future and how it seems to be really dark. And I'm wondering if that specific line is to do with the sins of the Zodiac, that series, because in that series they are trying to undo some of the dark magic that's corrupting the natural lines of magic within their earth. And I'm wondering if that thing that's corrupting them, what are they called? You know how they have Neverkeep and they have anyone that has two or more elements is kept and made to become one of their, I can't remember what it's called, but I'm wondering if what they're trying to bring back is what he's foreseeing, because we already know in Cindervale that the twins do come. So I'm wondering if that's the vision he's seeing and everything is just being tied together. And if there's like a hint of everything that's going to happen and the accumulation of it is going to be in Sins of the Zodiac. It's very good how manipulative they've been with all the books and bringing it to that point. I enjoy that. Ryder is not going to die. A super large can of Coke, Diet Coke. I'm going to crack open this beast and I'm going to lock in and I'm going to try and finish this book tonight. Is that likely to happen considering it's already 8:30? Probably not, but I'm going to try my best because I've got my next books. I've got books 4, 5 and 6 in Zodiac Academy coming tomorrow and I want to dive back into that world so bad. And I just feel like, you know, this is coming to an end. I'm ready for the next step. I'm ready to find out what's going to happen and I'm so freaking excited. So I'm going to dive in and look in. These books have been consuming my life. So we just learnt some important information. Lionel was Clara, Lance's sister. Elise and Dante just walked into the house and Clara was there calling out for Lionel, whatever his fucking name is. And I'm guessing Lance doesn't know this information, but they do. I don't know what the importance of that is yet, but I'm guessing it is important. He made them do a star vow. This book is so funny. Well, shit. So it looks like Elise's father is from one of the ruling families in Celeria, which means I don't know what that really means for her, but her dad is the brother to the woman who's currently sitting on one of the chairs ruling Celeria. Oh shit. His name is Marlo Alta. I'm trying to remember if he was mentioned in Zodiac Academy. And I think he was. But I can't remember. I'm confused. She's acting like she didn't know that he was her father. King told her he was her father. I think they kind of messed up here for making it look like this is the first time she's learning this information. The amount of extra chapters in this book is absolutely insane. We've got 9 months later, 3 months later, 3 years later. Oh my god. Now we've got 16 years later. Give it a fucking rest, okay? I don't see why this is necessary. I haven't read it yet, but I also don't understand how they can do 16 years later when this is set 5 years before the events of Zodiac Academy and we don't know what the outcome of Zodiac Academy is going to be. So how is this 16 years later? Like, isn't that a huge spoiler to what the world's going to be like? Like, I don't even want to read it. Also, Gabriel is definitely going to be in Zodiac Academy because he took the job of a teacher in Zodiac Academy because I think he's supposed to be their Nebula ally, potentially. I don't know. It just says they just said ally, so I don't know if I'm adding in the Nebula ally, but yeah. Oh, so many wait, there's another chapter after this, and another 6 years later for the last time. No, stop. Do I want to read this? I don't know. Do I want to read this? She has 2 kids. I don't really care about the whole kid bit. But am I going to miss anything? Surely not. Okay, so I finished Warrior Fae. Obviously, you would have seen that I wasn't too happy with the amount of epilogues at the end of this book. Because, oh wow, that was a lot. There was 4 or 5 epilogues, which I've never read that many epilogues before, and it was a little bit overdone. It was, yeah, I got a bit like frustrated with it, but overall, my feelings towards this series is very mixed. I feel like overall, the Twisted Sisters books for me are escapism. They're very easy to fall into and just live for the drama and the character-driven story. But in terms of plot and plot development, I think it is quite lacking. For one plot to span 5 books was excessive, to be quite honest. I think overall I'm rating the series of 3 stars. It was good, it was fun, it was interesting, it made me laugh. But the fact that the main plot development and the plot expanding was always towards the end of every book, and I think this series very easily could have been a trilogy instead of 5 books. I think 5 books was too much for this plot and what it was. I think there was a lot of unnecessary information, and I to be honest, it does make sense, you know. I think that these books are meant to be just about the drama and the romance and following the characters along their story, but it was just a little bit difficult to wade through towards the end, because I felt myself becoming very disconnected from the story and from the characters, because it was a lot of the same template with a different twist, I think. But yeah, I still did enjoy myself. I'm not hating on this book, and I'm not hating on this series. I did enjoy it. I did enjoy these characters, and I did enjoy the story, but especially the smut. Like, I love a good smut scene, you know. I can do with or without it. I'm either or. But when a smut scene lasts an entire chapter, spanning several pages, and also becomes every other chapter, it is a bit much to me. The amount of times I did skip the smut scenes and just skip entire chapters, because I was just like, okay, enough is enough. Like, I don't need this many. Now, this is my preference. This is my opinion. This is how I found the books. Obviously, not everyone's the same, and some people would really enjoy this series. But for me, it just wasn't the best. It was just a bit average, mid. That's all I'm gonna say. I feel like I'm being so hateful right now, and I really don't intend for it to come across that way, but that's just how I feel about this book. But anyway, I am now ready to dive into Zodiac Academy and into Shadow Princess. I'm really excited to be diving back into the Zodiac Academy world after, you know, finishing on book 3 and then diving into the Ruthless Boys. It's just made me that much more excited to be back, especially knowing a lot of the backstory in this world and the potential effect that these characters could have in Zodiac Academy. I have so many theories. I'm so excited to find out if I'm right or not. So I'm going to dive into Shadow Princess, and I will give you an update when I'm somewhat through it. Okay, my camera died, but I can't wait for my camera to fully charge so that I can read and update you guys, because I have to start. Motherfucking Gabrielle Knox has just appeared. Like, literally 52 pages into Shadow Princess, Gabrielle Knox has appeared. I don't know why he's just appeared while they were discussing the twins' orders and their power, but he has appeared. And it looks like this is in the timeline of the second epilogue chapter we got in Warrior Fae, where Orion offered him the job at Zodiac Academy and then he accepted. He's just started. Oh, Gabrielle is Orion's Nebula ally. The two of them already seemed enthralled by him. He tended to have that effect on people, but something about the way they looked at him made me wonder if there was something more to it than that, something tangible. They didn't seem remotely disturbed by the company of a stranger, despite the subject we were discussing. I had a theory that the twins were Gabrielle's Nebula ally, but apparently there's something more to it. I don't know what it is, though. Like, as much as these books are pretty predictable, there are certain points and plots that are a little bit harder to guess, like the identity of the card master. I didn't guess that until like book 4, and even then it was just like a passing thought that I didn't really give any substance to, until it was actually like, oh my god, that is who it is, and I can't believe that I didn't know that. I really don't know. Phoenix Fire is born of the sun itself, is capable of destroying all matter, and is able to sever many magical spells in both order and fey form. I wonder if they would be able to dissolve the bond between Orion and Darius that they're so desperate to get rid of. I feel like it's like, I already knew that the twins would probably have the power to do that, but I think this just kind of cemented the fact that they would be able to get rid of that bond for them if they can let down their pride and actually mess them up. have pretty much flown through Shadow Princess. I didn't give that many updates because, to be honest, I don't feel like that much is happening. They're learning their order, which I don't feel like is as prominent as it should be. And I would love to see more scenes of them training with Gabrielle over their order, because I feel like we got one scene, a half a scene at best, of them flying, and then that was it. That's all we've known, and we know that they have since had sessions with Gabrielle to learn their order, but it seems to still be very focused on the boys, the heirs and the twins, and just their drama and the bullying and the frustration between all of them. I feel like it's getting pretty boring that the heirs are still trying to bully the twins. I thought we'd gotten past that point, and it feels like we've now gone back, and it's all over the place. You know, Darius and Tori have slept together. Tori is going through a lot. She's struggling with the shadows. Tori and Darcy are no longer speaking because of the secrets Darcy is keeping. I'm pretty disappointed in Tori and the fact that she hasn't caught on to the fact that things are happening to her twin. And I know she's struggling with the shadows, but I feel like if you know your twin as much as you say you know your twin, shouldn't you have caught on to the fact that things aren't going so well? I'm pretty disappointed in the whole fiasco that's happening between them. Don't really know how they're going to get past it. Well, I also really don't know how Darcy's going to deal with Seth. I was kind of thinking that she would use dark cohesion, but she hasn't yet. So I don't know how that's going to go about. And I think the only way that they could go about it that doesn't involve dark cohesion is the fact that they are Elysian mates. And I think that would be the exception to them being teacher and student, but there's no way to prove it until they actually become Elysian mates. I'm also annoyed that Orion isn't using Gabriel, especially since he knows Gabriel has the sight and could help him through a lot of his troubles, and the fact that Gabriel knows that Orion and Darcy are sleeping together. He's hinted at it so many times, blatantly, and Orion's just not catching on. So it just a little bit frustrating with this book. I don't know if it's going to get better. I do have like 200 pages left, so I don't think I'm going to finish it tonight because it's just a little bit hard to read when I'm this frustrated with all the characters. It just feels like they're making really dumb decisions, and I think Caleb and Seth are going to be a couple. I'm not sure, because Caleb seems to got over the whole Tori situation pretty easily. Well, that's what it looks like anyway. It could be different. But I think Caleb and Seth are going to get together, because this is definitely not a wide choose book. So, yeah, they're all just being really stubborn and really blind. The fact that Darius has not had the hint that he and Tori are Elysian mates, and that's why he's so drawn to her. And the fact that he won't fucking apologise. That's what's really annoying. He keeps floundering and going back and forth on hating Tori, but understanding that he's the reason Tori hates him, but also being like, why does Tori hate me? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like every other scene, he changes his mind on the whole situation. And I'm just like, I want to punch you in the face. Yeah, I don't like Seth. I know that a lot of people in my comments on TikTok were like, oh, I don't want to, like, they seem to really love Seth. I don't get it just yet. And they're reading the same amount of books I am, so I don't really know what I'm missing here, but I don't like Seth. I really don't like Seth. But I can't wait for Tori and Darcy to kind of blow shit up, because I feel like they really need a whole fuck it moment and then just prove that they are super, super powerful and no one can touch them and put the heirs in their place. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling so far. It's not going super well. But I am flying through it, because I literally picked this up Friday I think I started reading this, and it's currently Sunday. So flying through this, but having a bit of struggles with certain repetitive things that are happening. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I will give you an update when I'm finished, or maybe I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna go. I might just end up really hating this book, so we'll see how this goes. Do you know what really annoys me is Darius having such an opinion on the twins being the Savage King's daughters, but his father is just as evil, if not more so. So I don't think he really has anything to say about the fact, and I think he's such a hypocrite for saying that he doesn't want the Savage King's daughters on the throne. You're not your father's son. Like, Orion had such a point about that, and Darius is just completely flew over his head, and it really annoys me that he thinks he can have such an opinion on it. I'm on page 690, and we're seeing visions of their parents, and it's memories that she's cast into the mirror, I'm guessing, to let the twins know what happened. But it said, there was a shadow hanging over her family. No matter what she or her father did, death was coming for them. Every time she tried to change it, the shadow only moved closer. She saw a row of 5 graves, tiny coffins, fire, fear, and screaming. 5 graves. There's only the mother, the father, and the twins. There should be 4. But now I'm wondering if it's Gabriel. Like, is Gabriel related to them? But I also feel like that's too easy, because how can they be Nebula allies with their brother as well as themselves? Like, isn't that a bit much and on the nose? So maybe it was time we stopped denying our birthright, because the Vegas had been born to rule, and I was sick of being forced to bow. What the fuck? Like, genuinely, what the fuck? You're trying to tell me that Darius and Tori are about to have their divine moment. I don't understand how they're now having their divine moment. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. How are they having their divine moment before Orion and Darcy? That's not fair. Okay, last night, as you would have seen, I finished Shadow Princess. Now, I will say Cursed Fates is going decidedly better than Shadow Princess. While there were things that were happening in this book, I, for quite a bit of it, was a little bit bored. And I would have liked if there were more emphasis placed on the training, learning their magic, their relationship with Gabriel, stuff like that, rather than just the mundane everyday life, which was just a bit boring. I don't really understand why we didn't have more of that than their mundane everyday life. Yeah, I didn't enjoy this book as much. I think this might be the one I like the least, until I got to the end, and then shit kicked off, which I was kind of pissed off about. I don't really understand what prompted the authors to give Darius and Tori their moment. I don't really feel like it does anything for the story. I mean, I know now they're cursed, but I don't feel like it was necessary to do that to them so early on to add drama to the book. Like, I just think that we could have not had their divine moment, and we could have still got as much drama from them just figuring out their relationship and working through their issues. I mean, now it does up the ante, and obviously Darius does know that he fucked up severely and was blind to the fact that she was his mate. But I also think Tori has a lot of issues to work through. I don't know. If there was anyone to get their divine moment, I would have loved it to have been Darcy and Orion, because I think that's the only way they can actually be together. But, you know, I don't mind that they haven't had their moment yet. I just was very confused at the fact that that Darius had their moment first. I just don't really, with everything that's going on, I just feel like it's the most like unimportant thing to happen in this book. Yeah, not my favorite. I was a bit bored for a lot of it and not looking forward to reading it when like there was no drive for me to want to read this. Like I literally was just reading it because, well, I kind of have to read it to get to the next books. But I am enjoying book 5 a lot more. So that is the update so far with how this reading vlog is going. I will say though, I do like the fact that Zodiac Academy does not have as much smut as the Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac. The Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac, every book was getting more and more overpowering with the amount of smut scenes. This one, it's a little bit more than, you know, actually no, I wouldn't even say it's a little bit more than your normal smutty book. Like I would say it's a decent amount of smut, but it's not too overpowering. It's not going on for a whole chapter or like 2 chapters, which is insane. So I will give that prompts, but I'm very, very interested to see the whole Darius, Tori, Cal situation. I definitely think we've got a big shift in the relationships between the heirs and the twins. I also do see that obviously the twins are more accepting of the fact that, you know, they might have to take up the throne with everything that's going on. There was a lot of information that happened in this, but I don't think it had to be this long. That's what I'll say. But yeah, I'm gonna go dive back into book 5. I cannot believe it. I didn't see this coming. Orion's just been arrested. Darcy and his secret is out. And I feel like the only way that he's going to escape this is if they come out as mates. But you can't prove mates unless you've had your divine moment. And I don't think Darcy's going to cope well until she gets Orion back. Like, they really, really love each other. And we just had a whole moment where Orion was saying, like, how he loved her and why he loved her. And it was just, they had one great night together. And then it was stripped from them. I don't know who did it. I don't think it was Seth. I know Darcy blamed Seth, but I don't think it was Seth. It might have been Mildred, the evil thing. But I don't know. Oh! Fuck's sake, why does everything keep distracting me? I just want to read. Oh my god. This book is so much better than Shadow Princess. So much better. Every interruption is killing me. We just got reintroduced to the Kipling brothers, and if you've read Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac, you know the Kipling brothers are very infamous for their one very, very weird fetish, and it looks like they've become lawyers, which is interesting and also quite fitting since they themselves were also criminals. And Dante Ascora pointed out the lawyers to Darius and his family, which I think is really funny because his aunt, I think, has 3 kids, which are actually the kids of the Kipling brothers. I think that's just very funny. It's also, and I can't believe this only just hit me, but they're called Kipling. And if in the UK we have these like dessert bars, cake things called Kiplings, and obviously their fetish is to do with cakes, and I thought, I can't believe I just made that connection, but it's so funny and so small. Yeah, we just got reintroduced to them. I love seeing the characters from the Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac back in this book. So we've seen Dante Ascora. Obviously he's very tied to Darius's family, and now we have the Kipling brothers, and we obviously have Gabriel. I'm really hoping we see Leon because he is my favourite, but I don't know if we'll see him. If it appeases you, you may wish to know that my brothers and I have very specific tastes sexually, and neither you nor Miss Vega fulfill them. So I can assure you the work was in no way gratifying. I prefer men in their 50s or older with considerably more body hair than you. My middle brother only enjoys sex with inanimate objects, and my youngest brother likes Medusa women in shifted form. Okay. We're just in the chapter of Orion at Darkmoor. It's page 785. And he said that the Lauriereadz was a bioweapon that had been created to roam the halls at night and ensure that if any inmate managed to escape their cells, they'd make a feast for the monstrous creatures who lurked out there. I wonder if these are the same creatures that are in Sins of the Zodiac that roam in the spaces between each kingdom, and what that means for the Sins of the Zodiac. Because obviously, if you've read Sins of the Zodiac, do you know what? I'm not actually going to spoil Sins of the Zodiac, but I'm just wondering if those two things are linked and if they're the same thing, because that is very interesting. I'm also wondering how the fuck Orion's going to get out of Darkmoor Penitentiary and be with Darcy, because if he stays in Darkmoor Penitentiary for the entirety of the series, there's gonna be a war. Oh, also, Ethan Shadowbrook, who took over for Ryder in the Lunar gang, is in Darkmoor Penitentiary. I thought that was very interesting. I also wonder if we're gonna see Lionel's brother. But I was wondering like what the Darkmoor Penitentiary series is about, and it is about Rosa and her, crush on. Well, she made a star vow that she was gonna get Lionel's brother out of Darkmoor Penitentiary because obviously she loves him. Can't remember his name though, but I had no idea that that was what that series was going to be about. I thought it was going to be about a totally separate set of characters because I thought they would kind of come up in this book and maybe she would free him. I guess that doesn't really make sense. But Darkmoor Penitentiary takes place after the event of Zodiac Academy. So don't really know what that means, because I would have felt like if the Vega twins had taken the throne, that maybe, they would let out Lionel's brother. But no. I think the Imperial Star is potentially in the sword that the Savage King gave to, I forgot his name, he called himself the Falling Star, and I wonder if he hid it for the Vega twins because they're royal, so they'd be able to wield it. That is a possibility. I also really want to spoil myself as to how Orion gets out of prison, because this is killing me. I'm gonna be so totally honest with you guys. I'm editing part 2 right now, and it's been a few weeks since I read the 7th book. Now, the 7th book won't be in this reading vlog because I'm splitting it into 3 parts because it would just be too long if I did the rest of the Zodiac Academy books. So there will be a part 3 coming, but I'm very much in a Zodiac Academy reading slump. After finishing the 7th book, I decided to take a little break because I think I was just a bit I don't want to say bored, but it was just I was a bit exhausted with the way these books were ending, and I kind of burnt out with it. And I was like, the best thing I can do right now is to take a break from reading these books, read some other books, and, really get back into really get back into fantasy romances and just fantasy. I was really craving some high fantasy books and go back to it when I'm over this burnout. Now, I will say that my problem with these books is that the ending is very repetitive. I just feel like it's always the same mixture ending these books. The cliffhangers are always a mix of the same compound, the same elements, and it was just a bit like, oh, we're here again, we're going through this again. Okay, there's nothing surprising here, there's nothing new here, I'm not learning anything different. Especially with Darius and his whole thought process. You would have thought by the 7th book, mind you, having now read the 7th book, you know, he did start to change towards the end of that, but 7 books on, knowing everything he does about these twins, knowing about, you know, his situation with one of the twins and him being mates, and realizing that everything he'd been taught was wrong. I just don't understand I just didn't understand, I guess I should say, his vehemence in stopping the twins from gathering the throne, because his whole thing for them not having the throne is they didn't grow up in Solaria, they don't know our ways, and, you know, they're daughters of the Savage King. Now, the main thing here is, what a fucking hypocrite, because your father is 10 times worse, especially then finding out that his father was behind the Savage King's actions and that he was using his powers to manipulate the Savage King to do those things so that he could get rid of them. To then stick to your guns and double down that you don't want the twins to take the throne just was really outrageous, especially since they've taken everything in stride and they're still working to protect the world when they really don't owe it shit after everything they've been through. So that just really annoys me. I don't really understand. I really didn't think there was any substance to his reasonings behind things after the 5th book. I don't feel like we're really expanding the plot in any significant way. It just feels like we're elongating the plot at this point. And while I really do like these characters and I really like the world and I'm really excited about the place that these books have in Sins of the Zodiac, which is without a doubt my favourite books in this entire series, having now read 2 of the many series in Solaria's universe. Sins of the Zodiac, the best books they have written in this universe that I know of. Hollow is their best book written, to be quite honest. But yeah, that is a very long-winded way of saying that I was burnt out on these books and I needed something different. I will return to these books. I have all the books now. I just need book 9 and then book 10, which is coming out. I don't know if I'll read book 10, but we'll see. I just wanted to wrap up this video and let you know the status of things and how things are going. I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog. I think it is probably a little bit chaotic. I was really struggling with reading these books and filming my reactions because I don't feel like I had a lot of reactions to reading these books because it was very predictable, you know? And my reactions became quite deadened when things were repetitive. So that being said, there will be a part 3. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I don't regret reading these books, but please like, comment and subscribe. You can find me on all socials as Lauriereadz, and I will see you in my next one, whenever that may be. Well, I'll have a video come out after this, but I don't know when part 3 will come out, so thank you for being patient with me. Bye.